Made a promise to my mama that I bless her with some grandkids. She can spoil them, but till then I'm getting dollars. I'm just doing what I gotta. Can a man live? And it's all day. I'm a god, get a whole squad a job, get them all paid. Came a long way from all state, yeah. Now we all American. Shit, we all American. Yeah, I swear to God, I put the hero in heroin. These flows, kilos. I can sell snow to a ski slope. I can sell evil to the devil, non-believers to a temple. Shit, I can sell water to a speedboat. And these eyes is iconic. I went pro, made profit. Now I keep some dead faces in my pocket, getting faded. I've been stoned all week. But what's a guy without a little OD? Just twisting my weed, easing my mind. Why you worry about me? Stop tripping, I'm fine. Swear these bitches done lost it lately. You put the whole in honest, baby. So complicated. And I may be a little arrogant, I'm aware of it, I know. I got a problem, I'ma take care of it. Weight I'm carrying, gotta let it go. It won't hold me down, no. Made a promise to my mama that I bless her with some grandkids. She can spoil them, but till then I'm getting dollars. I'm just doing what I gotta. Can a man live? And it's all day. I'm a god, get a whole squad a job, get them all paid. Came a long way from all state, yeah. Now we all American. Shit, we all American. Show me down.
Going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. We can't be stopped now. Cause this rap shit for life. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. We can't be stopped now. Cause this rap shit for life.
Back then, I had a dream. I get this money, man. I know my life would change. Just need 100 grand. Back then, I had a dream. I get this money, man. I know my life would change. Just need 100 grand. Yeah. Back when I first made 100 grand. Yeah. Back when I first made a. Yeah. Back when I first made 100 grand. Yeah. Yeah. Back when I first made 100 grand. Thought I was a shit. When I first made 100 grand. Thought I was a king. When I first made 100 grand. Couldn't tell me nothing. When I first made 100 grand. Made 100 grand. Yeah, okay. Back then they used to call me little, but now I'm riding something clean in a coat made of armadillo. They haven't got the memo. I'm saying I'm the shit though. Trying to make it complicated when the shit is simple. Tell me what you wanna be, what your dreams is. 100 G's in my jeans, I'm a genius. And every day someone save me please and get schooled, homie change degrees. On the plug, what you need though? I'm going beast mode. I keep a freak even when she underwater, she can deep throat. I made a meal before I paid a bill. These fools worry about a wave, I'm a Navy SEAL. Come with me, I can make your life change for real. Always had a dream of stunting, it ain't.
All right, what up, everyone? Welcome to today's stream. Happy Tuesday, February 10th. Appreciate all of you guys for being here. Today, we're gonna get in some slips. I know this is earlier than yesterday's stream. I'm thinking this is probably gonna be the best time for us to go live. You know, little midday stream. However, today might not be the best example, just because I believe we have 4 NBA games. So, honestly, stream probably won't be too long, just because I don't plan on us having a whole bunch of volume, just because we only have 4 games. However, we do have a soccer boost over on Sleeper that we're going to build out on stream, and then if we have some value on Prize Picks, Underdog, you know, all that stuff, we're going to check it out. Okay. So, if you're brand new to the stream, first off, make sure you guys drop a follow. We'd greatly appreciate it. And remember, you can get in the Discord for free. Okay, you guys can go either to the link in bio, wherever you guys are watching from, or go to tridentdfs.com. Cool. So, we're going to start off on Prize Picks. I'm going to see if we have any value here. Yesterday, start of stream, we did not have any value on Prize Picks. So, if there isn't anything, we'll just move on to Underdog. We'll also check out Novig as well. We've got some profit boosts over there as well for soccer too. So we'll check all that out today. Should be live for just about an hour. I don't plan on stream going any longer than that, really. But during this hour, make sure you guys are asking questions if you have any. Hopefully I can do a good job of answering those questions, or at least giving you guys some guidance on where to find the answers you guys are looking for. Right off the bat here, at least in terms of what plays are positive EV, I'm not seeing a whole bunch on Prize Picks. We're going to take a look at our sharp money as well to see if we have anything. So first off, to start off our Prize Pick slip, we're going to be building out a 5-pick flex. Okay. Let's see. Did you say the play behind you went live? Yes, the 6X right behind me that you guys see on TikTok, we did craft up yesterday on stream. Okay, so we're going to take Pascal Siakam under 4 assists as our first leg here. You can see this props at 3.5 on several of these books. So we get a little bit of value here at 4, under 4.5 on Bovada's at -220. Okay, so we're taking the under 4 assists for Siakam. We're also going to take the over PRA for Stephon Castle at 28.5. And then that third leg we're going to add here is going to be Jabari Smith under 21.5 points and rebounds. Okay, so those will be our first 3 picks. We're going to go over, check out what the sharp money looks like, see if we have any props available on Prize Picks. We've got some college basketball, but we can't really take that here in Florida, so I'm going to skip over that. We are going to go take Amen Thompson over 6.5 rebounds. Okay, so that's kind of correlated with the Jabari Smith prop. We're going to take Amen Thompson over 6.5 rebounds. You guys can see that on the sharp money tool. I'm also going to go over to low hold and see if we've got any action coming in on those exchange markets. Take a look at it real quick. Let's see. Okay, that's all available. Cool. What if I go there? Does that pull up anything? Okay. Plus 200. Let's see, minus 123. Okay, let's add for our final leg. Let's go ahead and take Kawhi Leonard. We're going to go under 34.5 points and assists. Okay, under 34.5 points and assists. All right, so that's going to build out our first leg, or our first slip on stream. That is a 5-pick flex on Prize Picks, okay? Do you think we can check props for underdog? Yes, of course. Yeah, I didn't run any streaks last night. I just didn't get around to it. But we can definitely do that. Hopefully see some good props there. I'm just very picky when it comes to streaks. You guys have heard me talk about it on stream before. Technically, the break-even point on streaks is 53.3%, which obviously we're going to be able to get in 2 props that are better than that threshold. However, I don't really like putting out slips where I know people are tailing who have smaller bankrolls, because even at just $10 a piece, like throwing away $10 each time, it's not necessarily throwing it away, but I know a lot of people can't just rip and fire off a ton of those slips. So I try to be really careful about what I'm actually getting in, which is why I typically, you guys will see that I typically go up, you know, try and get 57 or 58% props, just because that works a little bit better long-term in terms of how much you're actually able to, you know, kind of just navigate the whole thing. So anyways, that'll be the first 5-pick flex. I'll go ahead and repeat that if you guys did not already get that in. So this is on Prize Picks. Please do not take this anywhere else. It will not be profitable if you take it elsewhere, okay? 5-pick flex on Prize Picks, all right? First leg, we're taking Pascal Siakam under 4 assists, okay? Second leg, we've got Stephon Castle over 28.5 PRA. Third leg, we took Jabari Smith under 21.5 points and rebounds. Fourth leg, we have Amen Thompson over 6.5 rebounds. And then finally, we took Kawhi Leonard under 34.5 points and assists. Castle bumped. Okay. I can give you guys another pick for that, hopefully. Let's see. If you have access to college basketball, you can take Don McHenry under 15.5 points in that Houston versus Utah game. If you have access to college basketball on Prize Picks. If not, I would probably take, let's see, what would I take here? Let's see. You could probably, I would go with OG Anunoby under 2.5 assists. Okay. Yeah, so those would be the 2 props that I would take. All right. Let's move on to the next one. We're obviously not going to have enough value for another Prize Pick slip, so we're going to go over to Underdog, okay? So let's go over to Underdog. We've got some boosts over here as well. We've got a 50% NBA profit boost. For those of you guys who still need to take the little discount, you know, where it pulls up like It's like 12 different players, I think, and then you can click one to get a discount. Take Alperen Şengün. Okay, that prop has the best value already in itself. So if you need to get a discount on that, mine got bumped all the way down to 0.5. I know for some people it's just like a minor discount, but that would be your best option. Okay, so if you're on Underdog and you need one of those discount props, it would be for Şengün, the one that pulls up PRA. Okay. Let's see. I've got a 40% profit boost to use as well. We've got one for soccer and tennis. Okay, so Underdog is loaded with promos right now. If you guys haven't heard me talk about it before, a lot of you guys get confused by the idea of bankroll building. Okay, you'll scroll on somebody's live stream or somebody's post, and they say, "Hey, here's a bankroll builder, and it's a 2-man power on Prize Picks." Okay, that's not what bankroll building is. Bankroll building is taking advantage of profit boosts, promos, free squares, discounts, all that stuff. That's what bankroll building looks like. Okay, so that's what we're going to do on stream. It's the exact same type of thing that we do with the sleeper profit boosts. That's what bankroll building looks like. So if you're somebody who has only a few $100s or under $1,000 in your bankroll, bankroll building is going to be extremely important for you. Okay, so stop pissing away money, throwing it on 2-pick powers on Prize Picks or by taking goblin props. Okay, you will not make money that way long term. Profit boosts, promos, discounts, that's what bankroll building looks like. Okay, so we're over on Underdog right now. Let's see if we have anything available to take. I'm gonna get our minimum data points in here, and then let's also take out some esports. We'll do that. All right, so we should have enough here. We're gonna run a 3-pick power. Okay, so this first leg that I'm gonna take on Underdog. Okay, make sure you guys get these in because the slip right behind me that you see, that's that 3-leg 6x Underdog slip. That cashed for us yesterday and was built here on stream. Sorry. If you want to take any of these props for streaks, those top 2 are going to be your best right here, your best options over that, 55%. All of these are profitable all the way down to, that 53.3%. Okay. So if you want to build that out now, you can. I typically like to wait a little bit closer to game time to actually get in some Underdog streaks. However, 3-pick power, let's go ahead and rip this, okay? First leg, we're going to be taking Kevin Durant over 27.5 points and rebounds. You guys can see those data points here. 28.5 on several sports books and apps. We get minus 154 on FanDuel, which is a sharp sports book, very reliable for us to use as a data point. So first leg, Kevin Durant over 27.5 points and rebounds. Then we're going to go over to college basketball to Illinois Fighting Illini. We're going to take Andrei Stojakovic under 20.5 PRA. And then that third leg we are going to take in that same game, we're taking Nick Boyd over 17.5 points. Okay, so you guys will notice that there is crazy correlation between those two. And they're bumping our payout down to 4.63x. So what we're going to do is we're going to take Nick Boyd out, okay? And we're going to replace that with Jalen Brunson. And we're going to take Brunson over 25.5 points. All right, so that's going to give us our 6x payout. Put a half unit on that. If Underdog keeps giving me issues on stream, we are going to have a problem. I don't know why they can't detect my location. I don't run anything. I just always have to open a new tab for it. There we go. Okay, so once again, that is Kevin Durant over 27.5 points and rebounds. Then we've got Andrei Stojakovic under 20.5 PRA, and then Jalen Brunson over 25.5 points. Okay, that is a 6x slip on Underdog. All right, don't take this anywhere else. You won't get the same value for it, okay? This is a 6x on Underdog, all right? Make sure you guys get that in. Once again, Kevin Durant over 27.5 points and rebounds. Andrei Stojakovic under 20.5 PRA. And then Jalen Brunson over 25.5 points. This is a 4.88% positive EV play. All right, we're going to go ahead and log that, get that added to our tracker. Now we're going to build out a 6-pick. Probably check out some sharp money as well. I wonder why that is a 6.5x for me. Make sure you have the same 3 props. Maybe you have some sort of promo added to it. I don't know. All right, let's build out a 6-man now. So we're going to go back and start off our next slip with Nick Boyd. Okay, so this is in that Wisconsin versus Illinois game. We're taking Nick Boyd over 17.5 points. Second leg, we're going to add Stephon Castle over 4.5 rebounds. All right, then we're going to go ahead and add Devin Booker. We're going to take his under for free throws made at 6.5. So under 6.5 free throws made for Devin Booker. Our fourth leg, we're going to go over, and I know I'm going fast, guys. I'm going to repeat it back to you. If you're watching on TikTok right now, you guys can go over to YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter and watch my full screen, so that way you guys can watch as I'm putting this in and seeing how I'm operating the fantasy optimizer that we're using. So that fourth leg, we're taking Derrick Jones Jr. over 7.5 points. Then we're going to go back over to college basketball. We're going to take Braden Frazier over 11.5 points. And then finally, we're taking Luka over 46.5 PRA tonight versus the Spurs. Going to go ahead and flex that. And if you guys want to, we can go ahead and add our profit boost as well if you have one available. Those are the best 6 plays on the board right now outside of that 3-pick power that we played. So you can add a profit boost if you have one. Once again, that's going to be a 6-pick flex paying out 25x unless you have a profit boost in which it will pay out 30-something-x. This is a half unit play. Let me go ahead and get this sent out to the Discord. Remember, guys, if you are not already in the Discord, it is free to join, okay? The way that Discord operates is that all of the profit boosts, promos, discounts, all of that stuff gets sent out to the free members, okay? So if you just want access to Bankroll Build and get your bankroll up, that's the best place for you, okay? If you do want to get access to every single play that I post, you guys can join the Dub Club. Not forcing that on any of you guys. I know that bankroll building is probably a lot more important because a lot of you guys probably don't have a huge bankroll in the first place, okay? So once again, that 25x that we just got in on Underdog, Nick Boyd over 17.5 points, Stephon Castle over 4.5 rebounds, Devin Booker under 6.5 free throws made, Derrick Jones Jr. over 7.5 points, Braden Frazier over 11.5 points, and then Luka Doncic over 46.5 PRA, okay? Obviously, the college plays are good value, but I feel like they always chalk. The other night, we had a 25x that was 4 for 4, and we had pretty correlated play in the Tennessee game for under 3-pointers made, and the dudes just were freaking raining threes. But we're going to play the value. That's always what we do. So once again, that 6th leg right there, that's going to be an 11.53% positive EV slip, okay? It looks like we probably have a lot of new faces in the chat, which I greatly appreciate. Make sure you guys hit that follow button. If you hear me use the term positive EV, okay, that might be brand new to some of you. Positive EV stands for positive expected value. And when you hear me talk about those numbers that I just said of what that percentage is, that's basically saying, hey, you're getting paid more for this slip than you should. Because what we're doing is comparing to the sports books, right? I use the slip behind me as an example. Right, Davion Mitchell over 18.5 PRA, he ends with 19, and we have Franz under 21.5 PRA, he ends with 21. A lot of you guys don't realize this, but it happens to everyone. You either get hooked or you win props by half of whatever the market is, okay? And you should be asking yourself why that is. Is it just because you got lucky? Is it just because you knew ball and you knew that he wasn't going to hit or he was going to hit? No, it's because the sports books know more than you guys, okay? You're going to run into a lot of people who are going to tell you that they have ball knowledge and they're going to tell you exactly why someone's going to go over or under their respective line tonight. Don't listen to them, okay? You will not outsmart the sports books, okay? So all we are doing with positive EV is leveraging the sportsbook data and the lines that they provide for us to find line discrepancies just like this, okay? So we're going to get that logged. That is our 6-pick flex over on Underdog. Let's go ahead and move on to the next slip. You guys can let me know if anything bumped there. I can try and give you guys a good replacement. Okay. So we're going to refresh this, go on to our next slip. We should be able to get in another 6 leg. I'm going to go over to Sharp Money and see if we can get in something here. I personally was not able to get that Don McHenry prop over on Prize Picks. So we're actually going to start that on our Underdog 6-pick flex. Okay. So Don McHenry on Utah, we are taking his under for 15.5 points. We've got a lot of sharp money coming in on this. So again, that's Don McHenry under 15.5 points. That'll be our first leg. We're also going to take Pascal Siakam under 33.5 PRA versus the Knicks tonight. We've got some sharp money coming in there as well. Our third leg that we're going to take is going to be a tennis prop. I don't even know if I should try and pronounce this. I believe it's Zhizhen Zhang. That's probably butchered, but that's my best shot at that. This is going to be for tennis. We're taking the under 23.5 games played between Zhizhen Zhang versus Yasutaka Uchiyama. I hope I pronounced that right, but we're taking the under 23.5 total games played there. Yes, you guys can find value in tennis, okay? That would be spelled ZHANG. We're taking the under 23.5 games played, okay? Next, we are going to go take Jalen Brunson. We're going to go take his over on 31.5 points and assists. That'll be our fourth leg. Then we are going to go ahead and take, we're also going to take another tennis prop here. We're going to take James Duckworth. Okay, go ahead and get on James Duckworth versus Elliot Spizzirri. Spizzi. It should pull up after you put that in. We're taking the under 22.5 games played there. And then for our last prop, we're going to take Colin Gillespie over 20.5 PRA. All right, I'm going to go ahead and recite all of those. All right. Yes, we're going to do sleeper in a second. Okay. So that's going to be in that Phoenix game tonight versus Dallas. We're taking the over 20.5 for Colin Gillespie on PRA. Go ahead and flex that, guys. That is a 25x. Okay. So once again, just to go over this, let me get it sent out to the Discord real quick, and I'll go ahead and repeat it for you guys who did not get it in. We've got a college basketball sleeper boost. They just send that out. That's huge because we've got a nice college basketball slate today. I actually tagged them on Twitter, and I was like, the people want, a college basketball boost. That's huge. Okay, so once again, that is an underdog 25x. Okay, all of these plays are profitable over time. First leg we are taking is Don McHenry, under 15.5 points. Let me see if we can find this here. Don McHenry. We are taking the under 15.5 points. Okay, on Utah. That is a college basketball prop. Then we are taking Pascal Siakam, under 33.5 PRA. Then we've got James Duckworth versus Elliot Spizzirri. I think you got to search Spizzirri's name first. Under 22.5 games played. All right. Then we also have another tennis prop. We're taking, you can search Zhang, Z-H-A-N-G. We're taking the under 23.5 games played. And then we've got Jalen Brunson over points and assists at 31.5. And then finally, we have Colin Gillespie over 20.5 PRA. Okay, so we've got some sharp money props in there, and we've also got some good positive EV props as well. All right, we could probably get another underdog slip in. I go so fast. Are you guys able to pause the stream? Maybe not on Twitter. No, you guys should definitely be able to pause the stream. Remember, guys, if you don't want to go ahead and just manually get these in, these all get sent out to the Discord. So if you join the Discord, you can get in. You just have to click the link, and it's already loaded up for you, okay? That makes things a lot easier, and I'm going to tell you exactly why, okay? This is why it's so important, okay? So many of you guys will go into somebody's live stream. You'll go into somebody's, Twitter or whatever, right? They're streaming. They've got a nice little parlay for you, a little two-leg, right? And it will stay at those exact lines for the entirety of their 1 hour stream. The lines will never bump, okay? You should be asking yourself why that is, because if plays are available for an extended period of time, they're probably not profitable to take, okay? You guys will notice when we're in here in stream or even just in the Discord off stream, I'm putting out plays and I'm constantly saying, hey, or people are constantly adding me saying, hey, we need another pick. This one got bumped. This one got removed, okay? That's because I'm showing you guys where the true value is on these apps, whether it be Underdog, whether it be Prize Picks, whether it be Sleeper, okay? Things get bumped because I'm showing you where the value is, all right? So I say that because as everyone's trying to manually put these in, they could just be clicking a link, getting it loaded up, and then just submitting however much money they want to put on it, okay? That's why it's important. Timing is everything when it comes to finding good value and positive EV, okay? So let's go over to Sleeper. I know that's what everyone is dying to do. We've got soccer that I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get in on stream. I'm going to try to. The reason why people are confused a little bit, a lot of people are like, yesterday tagging me, hey, we've got a soccer boost. Let's use it, right? Let's use it. Soccer is tricky because you could have a projected lineup that is out for the entire day. And then the morning of the game or an hour before the game when they release the lineup, you could have 4 dudes who are not in the starting lineup. So that's why I kind of wait until the lineups get posted. However, these games should be going, I think we have like a lot of games that start in an hour and a half. So if the lineups have not already dropped, they should be dropping fairly soon. Do I utilize all OddsJam books? What do you mean by that? I try to utilize everything that I have access to, if that's what you're saying. Yeah, we've got a lot of games. We're mainly looking at Premier League. We've got 3 games that start at 2:30 Eastern time, and then 1 at 3:15. Okay. Let's see, Napoli's playing today. We've got a few games, but I don't believe any of these lineups have been confirmed yet. Yeah, they haven't been confirmed yet. So let me go over to Sleeper, though. Somebody mentioned something about college basketball. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, so we have a 100% profit boost on a 5-leg college basketball slip. Okay, I want to talk to you guys about something real quick. And if you've been consistently tuning into streams, I apologize, because you're going to hear me talk about this a lot. Okay, for anyone who's brand new here, okay, if you're brand new to stream, you may not have heard me say this before. Okay, a lot of people treat promos and profit boosts or like sign up bonuses as just like free money that they can just piss away on a 10-leg parlay. Okay, that's not how you should be treating it, because everyone approaches the same idea. Everyone approaches it with, I want to get rich quick, right? Everyone wants to say that, right? I want to get rich quick. So they just say, hey, it's free money. I'll just toss it on a lottery parlay and we'll see what happens. You guys are not going to be able to grow and make an income off of this if you treat it that way. Okay, we're gonna look at better in just a second. Okay, and I say this because there's a lot of people that do this. What you guys need to be doing is put yourself in the best the best scenario where you are making money, right? So that's not putting in lottery parlays. For Sleeper, okay, their thing is 100% profit boost for college basketball, and it's 5 legs or more. Okay, some of you guys would say, okay, let me just put in a 12-leg parlay and we'll see what happens. You need to be putting in parlays that are meeting the minimum requirements for you to use the boost, and then put in a parlay that looks like a bankroll builder. Okay, I don't care if you're taking minus 300 props. That's okay when you have a profit boost. Okay, you guys, you have to realize that a 100% profit boost quite literally turns every single parlay into a positive EV slip. Okay, so we're going to look at college basketball and we're going to craft up something together. You guys have obviously seen that Sleeper has been pretty hot for us. If you're not on Sleeper yet, if you're somebody who's too stubborn to get off of Prize Picks, you guys need to be getting on as many apps as you have access to. Okay, because not every book does not have the same lines, and not every app offers the same exact promos. Okay, so taking advantage of these profit boosts on Sleeper is going to be the #1 way for you guys to grow your bankroll. You guys can sign up on Sleeper with code TRIDENT. Okay, and you will get a deposit bonus when you sign up. All right, so let's take a look at this college basketball. We're going to use a couple of different tools here that I like to pull up on stream. We're going to use not only Sharp Money, but we're going to look at some of these exchange markets as well. And then obviously we've got our positive EV tool up as well. So the first prop that I see here that we probably could double down on is that Don McHenry prop. We could take on Sleeper. I'm probably not going to do that, just because if he does chalk, obviously you don't want to overexpose too much. So let's see what we want to take here for college basketball. First prop right away that I love, Tahad Pettiford over 1.5 3-pointers made on Auburn. Okay, this is listed on Sleeper at -164. Obviously it's in multiplier form here, so you guys will see that at the 1.61x. Okay, that'll be our first leg. You guys can see here that it's at -164 on Sleeper, and we have 3 other data points here with that at over -170, which is pretty good. Another prop that we can take here, obviously a pretty heavy favorite, not too much value in the sense, but it's still beating a pretty major sports book here with that line at -182. So the first leg we are taking is going to be Tahad Pettiford on Auburn. We are taking the over 1.5 3-pointers made. And then the second leg, we're going to go over to that Florida State versus Virginia game, and we're going to take the over 1.5 3-pointers for Sam Lewis. Okay, and that's going to be pretty much -182. It's at 1.55x. Okay, so those are going to be our first 2 legs that we're going to take. All right, the third leg I'm going to look at here, we're going to skip over the Don McHenry prop. Just don't really want to overexpose on that. So the third leg that we're going to take here is going to be, let's see, what do we want to take here? We might have to look individually at these games on the sports book, the odds screen. Okay. Actually, we can definitely take this. We're going to do the Wisconsin game versus Illinois. And we're going to take the under 3-pointers made for Nolan Winter. Under 1.5. It's at 1.61. You guys can see that we have this line with liquidity available, $1,000 of liquidity available on ProfitX at plus 145. So this minus 164 line is pretty good. We're going to go ahead and take that, add that to our slip. So we've got 3 props so far. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the sportsbook screen, and we're going to go ahead and just take a look at these. See if we can get a little bit of correlation in here possibly. Okay. So first 3 legs, if you're just now tuning in, we are over on Sleeper. We're cooking up for this college basketball 100% profit boost. Okay. What we are going to do is take the over 1.5 3-pointers made for both Tahad Pettiford and Sam Lewis. And then we're taking the under 1.5 3-pointers made for Nolan Winter. Okay. Those are our first 3 legs. That should be a 4.2x payout so far. If that ends up changing by a significant margin, then we'll probably switch it up as well. Okay. Some negative EV is acceptable when using boost. Yeah, of course. Do I flex my sleeper slips? I personally do not. However, if you're somebody who would prefer to do it that way, I don't have anything against that, just because with a 100% profit boost, you're still getting a good payout. So anyways, let's go ahead and look for another one here. I'm going to look at the rebounds and assists and see if we can have something here that looks pretty good, just because I do recommend using some type of correlation when it comes to using these profit boosts, because correlation is typically nerfing your payout. However, if you're able to boost that by using a profit boost on top of correlation, then I find that to be extremely acceptable. Okay. So the one prop that I'm looking at right now is this. We don't have a ton of data points, but this line seems to be at 8.5 almost everywhere. Okay. So on Auburn, we're going to go back to the Auburn game. Okay. Remember that we have the prop right now for Tahad Pettiford over 1.5 3-pointers made. Okay. We can technically, oh, it looks like they just pulled it off. Oh, wait, no, they didn't. We're looking at rebounds. I'm silly. Okay, never mind. Scratch that. We're going to keep looking. Let's see. Villanova. What do we need to be looking for? We need to look at over rebounds for Wisconsin. And I don't believe anything there looked like it. Okay, let's look at assists real quick. We're going to look at assists, okay? Purdue. We need to look at over assists for Virginia. Do we have anything here? No, we don't. Okay. That's fine. We need 2 more props here. Let's see. What can we do here? What can we do? We've got a nice college basketball slate today. We really do. Let me take a look at points and see if we've got anything available. If not, we may end up just taking those rebound props that I saw, which means that we wouldn't necessarily have any positive correlation in this, which is not terrible. It's okay. You know what? Let's go ahead. See, I really like to have a data point from either FanDuel or DraftKings. I am seeing a lot of sleeper lines available in terms of the best odds available. But that doesn't necessarily mean that I want to take it. You want to build out some sort of correlation, okay? So let's see if we can go back to those rebound props. And the reason I say that is because, yes, with basketball, correlation, you guys have heard me talk about this a lot. Correlation is very subjective. So, like, if you picture a game script where somebody on the opposing team goes off on points, you technically could take the other team, somebody under on rebounds, right? Because if there's more made shots, less rebounds yet, that type of thing. Or 2 people on the same team, 1 person over points, 1 person over on assists. That doesn't necessarily mean that things will go as planned. However, that still means that there's correlation to a degree, which increases your chance of hitting the slip. Okay. So let me see if we can get in some sort of correlation with these last 2 props. I don't see anything available for us to get in for the 3 props that we have in so far. Let's see. Maybe we could do... Maybe we can do an over assist or an over points, or maybe an over rebounds and an under point. So let's see. We could get in... Let me see if anything else is pulled up here. Okay, we still got these two available. We have no sharp money. Okay. Somebody asked me how confident I am in the picks. Okay, something you guys will realize over time once you've been in these streams. I don't make any of my plays off of ball knowledge, confidence, what I think or feel is going to happen. Okay, everything is rooted in the numbers and what the math tells us to do. Okay, so the only type of confidence that I have is just that long term, these plays will be profitable. Okay, and there are proven results of that. If you're somebody who needs the verification that I feel confident in the picks, then I'm not the right guy for you. Okay, because I cannot stand when people say that they have locks or guaranteed wins. You guys just have to approach this by thinking about the math involved. Okay. This is tricky. Let me look at PRA real quick to see if there's anything that looks like really good. All over so far, correct? No. Oh, great. Someone said... Maybe it's the song. It's probably the song that was on. I had the Mac Miller station on. Probably who you heard. So all overs, no. We have Tahad Pettiford over 1.5 3-pointers made. We've got Sam Lewis over 1.5 3-pointers made, and then Nolan Winter under 1.5 3-pointers made. Okay. Let's take a look at these odds here for PRA. If I really wanted to get in something that looks like it has the best odds available and the best chance of hitting, I think I might go back to these player rebounds. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I think we should take... Wait a second. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to go ahead and... We're going to take some a correlated slip in the Purdue versus Nebraska game. Okay, so this fourth prop that we're going to take is going to be... How do you even pronounce this? Is it just like rank? Mast. We're taking Mast under 6.5 rebounds on the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Okay, he's at 1.6x. You guys can see that we have several other data points with this line at 5.5. Okay, so if we're taking the under rebounds, we want to take either over points or over assists for Purdue. So what I'm going to go ahead and come over here is I'm going to look at points first. We don't have anything available for points, but I believe we have an over assists available for Purdue. I don't know if it was for... okay, Braden Smith. Okay, so we're going to go over to assists and take the over 8.5 assists for Braden Smith on Purdue. Okay, so with the 100% profit boost, if you were to play the full amount of $30, that would pay out just over $700. Okay, so that's what we're going to run. You can flex it if you would like. I'm going to go ahead and get this posted over on Twitter and in the Discord. Let's see, Sleeper, college basketball boost. Then we'll go over that once more. So first leg that we are taking there is going to be Sam Lewis over 1.5 3-pointers made. Second leg we are taking is going to be Todd Pettiford over 1.5 3-pointers made as well. Third leg, we have Nolan Winter under 1.5 3-pointers made in the Wisconsin versus Illinois game. And then we have two props in that Purdue game versus Nebraska. We have Mast under 6.5 rebounds. And then we have Braden Smith over 8.5 assists. Okay, so that just got posted over to Twitter. Also posted that in the Discord, guys. So use that 100% profit boost. Please do not go play that anywhere else, okay? You will not get the same payout. I'm not telling you these props because I'm confident in them or I'm guaranteeing that they will hit. However, that is a good, profitable slip to take on Sleeper with your 100% profit boost, okay? Cool. Can you repeat why we took Smith over 8.5 assists? Good. Good question. So first off, if we go over to the sportsbook screen, which we were using, we're looking for the best possible odds, right? So if you look here, right, in this column, it'll say best odds, and you'll see the little icon next to it that has the sleeper icon here. Okay, so the best odds available for the over would be at 8.5 minus 175 on sleeper. Obviously, that's translated from the multiplier that we just got in. Okay, why are we taking this? Well, if you look at all these data points, it's pretty much either 9 or 9.5 on almost all of these sports books available. Okay, so that's reason number one. Number two is that we're also able to have some positive correlation here by having that subjective correlation with basketball by saying, hey, if we're already taking Mast under 6.5 rebounds, right? Let's say we're looking at that from a defensive rebounds standpoint, then that would theoretically mean that Purdue is scoring more baskets, which if there are more points being scored, that would theoretically mean that there are more assists being accounted for. And we have that as an extra, data point there, if you want to call it that. Okay. Is there any value with Olympics? I wish there was. I'd have to look at it a little bit more, but you kind of need to have some very good data points. And a lot of these people don't have that, especially with Prize Picks being pretty much all like time-based Olympic props, I believe. Where do you get the 100% boost on Sleeper? Guys, if you're not already on Sleeper, you can sign up with code TRIDENT, TRIDENT. Okay, definitely get on Sleeper. It's probably the best app that I can recommend you getting on at the moment. Okay, so see, they bumped Braden Smith to 9.5. Okay, if you need another prop, I can try and get you one. Let me see if anything else is pulled up here. If you have not already taken Don McHenry under 15.5 points, that's a really good prop. If you do want to take, so here's an instance here that you probably wouldn't want to replace. Okay, so since we have the under rebounds, it wouldn't make sense for us to take an under points for Purdue, even though the Trey Kaufman-Renn under 12.5 points is a good prop. Okay, Better is also really good. You guys can sign up on Better with code Trident as well. Let's see. I would take the McHenry prop if you don't have that in already. If you do have it in already, let me think of what I want to give you guys to take. Okay. Prize Picks or Chalkboard? Are you asking me which one I like more? I haven't tried Chalkboard. Another good prop that you can take if you want to replace that Braden Smith prop, it wouldn't technically be correlated with anything. However, the value on it is pretty good. It would be, where did it go? Let's see here. It would be Duke Brennan over 10.5 rebounds on Villanova. Over 10.5 rebounds for Duke Brennan. That's a pretty good prop that I would take if you guys need to replace Braden Smith. You can take that, or you can go with, let's see, I'd probably skip over those. You could go with N.D. Okafor over 5.5 rebounds on Washington State versus Gonzaga. At 5.5, I would probably take that for rebounds if you needed that. Okay. All right, so that's for Sleeper for the college basketball. Let's go ahead. I'm going to try and dive deeper in the soccer real quick. Chelsea's lineup just got confirmed versus Leeds. So let me see if anyone else has confirmed lineups just yet. Everton's lineup is confirmed. So is Bournemouth. Okay, we can check out soccer. We can definitely do that. Yeah, all these lineups are confirmed now. Perfect. Perfect timing there. Okay. So let's go back over to Sleeper. If you guys noticed that we do also have a soccer boost for 40% on a 3-pick or more. Okay, so we're just going to focus on getting 3 picks in. We're going to look at what's available and see if we have any sort of value from that. So for soccer, I always like to go over to Bet365, typically the best place for Premier League odds in terms of having double-sided odds. So if you're not familiar with what that means, single-sided odds, especially for soccer, are very common. You'll see like 1+ shot on goal, 2+ shots on goal, 3+ shots on goal, and it just has one odd number there for you. You want double-sided odds when you're trying to find good value. Okay, so let's take a look. We're going to go to the Chelsea game first. Go to the player tab. We'll see if they have double-sided odds available. They don't. I don't know why. Probably because it's just a small slate. So we're just going to try to see what we've got available here, see what we can work with. Also going to pull up the lineups here. So that way we can make sure that these people are starting. Okay, so let's take a look at the Chelsea game. Let's go to saves. All right. Let's see, 4+. Or 3.5. We're not gonna go to saves. Let's do shots on target. None of these have passes available. So we're just gonna have to base this off of the single-sided odds, which, if you haven't heard before, single-sided odds are kind of skewed. So like a -200 prop for single-sided is not really -200. It would probably be, more like -150. You kind of have to take off a little bit of the juice. The sportsbooks typically add that on there just because people love to just take the single-sided ones to throw in, parlays or whatever. So let me think of what I want to do here with this Chelsea game. We'll see if we've got a little bit of value available. Let's go to shots first. Okay. Let's see here. 2 shots. Okay, so like Cole Palmer is -350 to have 3+ shots. He's listed at 1.6x in terms of the multiplier on Sleeper, which if you convert that to American odds, comes out to, what's 1.6? That's -167. So that's honestly not a bad prop there. And like same thing with soccer, we're trying to think about what can we correlate. So we obviously can't correlate like shots on target with saves. However, what we could do, let's think here. I'm going to go ahead and add that to our slip. All right. I know Cole Palmer's not starting up front. Obviously, we got João Pedro. But Cole Palmer to take 3+ shots at -350 and us getting that at 1.6 is not bad at all. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add that to our slip. That'll be our first leg here. So Cole Palmer, 3+ shots. And the one thing I will say is that technically unders are better in soccer just because you have the possibility of red cards. You also have the possibility that they get subbed off. So that's something to keep in mind with this. I'm not going to take any more props in this Chelsea game, though. We're going to take Cole Palmer over 2.5 shots. Okay, and then we're going to go over to the Bournemouth versus Everton game. We're going to see if we can get another prop in here. It's so funny that how I can like tell when people are leaving stream whenever I go to soccer. Like, because people are just like, oh, I just want NBA. NBA is all I want to, take plays on. It's like, you guys do realize that there's value elsewhere, right? Like I can go get value in on soccer or esports, So we're going to be over in the Everton game versus Bournemouth. And let me think of what I want to take here because there's a lot of options available. Let's see. Where's David Brooks at for shots on target? David Brooks, where are you at? -138. Okay. Let's think here.
We got to know each other little by little, living very close in the same building.
This could be tricky.
He would help me with things, and I would see him.
Charlie
What a cute guy, and he was a cute guy, and it was just little by little. We got to know
Okay.
just
Let's go over to saves
invited him to a
and
party.
think about what we've got here.
I had
So
heard
both of these
stories
goalkeepers are at 2.5
respected
for the
him,
Everton
he was
game.
good to
We got
everybody.
Pickford and
He
Petrovic.
he worked
Both of them are starting.
adored him.
Let's see what their overs are.
Important, the respect that
Both pretty much
he
the
had for
same here.
somebody
Okay,
who
I
he
don't want
was
to take
the
those.
most important
What if we go
person
to
him
shots?
and
Let's
being
see what there's
finding
available for
people
shots.
respected him and
Okay,
I
here we go.
respected him. I
All
know
right.
the fact that he sensed how my
Tyler,
feelings were,
let's see.
and I learned to
Minus 188.
understand and respect.
So this is kind of just a manual process
Understand his feelings.
for looking for odds. Unfortunately, when it comes to actually getting in soccer plays. Okay, here's one that I like. So we have Amin Adli on Bournemouth. 1.5 shots. He's at 1.71x for the over, and the single-sided odds are at -400. Okay, So I like this a lot. There's definitely a little bit of value on that, even though it's single-sided odds. So we're going to go ahead and add that to our slip as well. So right now we have Cole Palmer over 2.5. Okay, over 2.5 shots. Then we have Amin Adli over 1.5 shots. And then let me go over to the Newcastle game versus Tottenham. I want to know what the chat thinks. Do we think that Man United gets it done, finally gets their 5th win in a row, and the dude can cut his hair? Or do they lose to West Ham? That would be hilarious. What a way to go out with freaking losing to West Ham. All right, let's look at... okay, so we have a similar situation here. 2.5 saves for both Nick Pope and Vicario. And then, yeah, these odds aren't worth it to take. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back. We're going to look at shots for these two teams as well. Man United's new manager is undefeated so far. Yep. College basketball got bumped. I gave out a couple of props if you guys need replacements. Do we want to take an over or an under? Let's see. What should we take here? I like the value on the first two props that we have in right now. Where's Mickey Van de Ven? Okay, 0.5. Anthony Alenga, minus 188. Let's go down to Bruno. Where's Bruno at? Does not have odds available? Oh, he's down here. Minus 250. Okay. Not great. Radu. Plus 125. Yeah, I like that a lot. But it's also 1.37. That's disgusting. Okay. Steve Botman. Wilson Odebear. Okay, let's check out maybe shots on target. Maybe that's something we can do. Shots on target. What about Joe Willock? Plus 150. I like that a lot. Let's go take that, guys. Let's go over. We're in the Newcastle game versus Tottenham. We're gonna take Joe Willock under 0.5 shots on target. So it's at 1.6x, which converts to minus 167. Yet the one-sided odds are at plus, where did it just go? Plus 150. Okay, and obviously, like I said, typically one-sided odds are already juiced on that side. So this technically is even worse than plus 150. It's longer odds. So we're going to take the under for Joe Willock at 1.6. So those 3 props are going to come out to a 4.64x payout. And then if we add in that 40% boost, if you were to put $30 on that, it's going to pay out 182. All right, so that's what I'm going to put in. We have Cole Palmer over 2.5 shots. We have Adley over 1.5 shots, and then Joe Willock under 0.5 shots on target. Okay, I like that a lot. Sleeper, EPL boost. Cool. All right, guys, let's hope that we cash on those. Those are 2 pretty good sleeper slips. All right, I'm going to pull those up on screen for you guys. So once again, that is Cole Palmer over 2.5 shots. Then we have Adley over 1.5 shots. And then Joe Willock under 0.5 shots on target. Can't find Joe. Oh, never mind. Okay. All right. All right, guys. We pretty much went through a bunch today. So definitely got some good value. Obviously, like I said, guys, I appreciate you guys being here in the stream. I'm going to have more slips that get put out through the rest of the day. So make sure you guys get in the Discord. It is free to join. All right. I appreciate everyone who's been in here so far. If you're brand new, drop a follow. I appreciate it, guys. I will see you tomorrow, midday, probably around 12 or 1 a.m. 12 or 1 p.m. Eastern time. And if you have any other questions, you guys can always open up a support ticket or DM me, and I can probably try to get back to you. So yeah, let's hopefully cash some slips tonight. Keep an eye out on Twitter for some more slips and also in the Discord. Peace out, guys.